Hi guys, gonna wait for a few more of you to pop on. I used to think your hands were so beautiful. I would do anything you asked. Oh, how I loved you so. The words you drew. I'm so nervous, you guys. Shit. The words you wrote and the art you drew, all disguised what was hiding in you. Oh, pity this fool, pity this clown. You broke me open, yes, you broke me down. You burnt me, you bruised me, you pushed me around. And in that love, I drowned. Hi guys. Happy Thursday. That was the first verse of a song I'm going to be singing in its entirety later in the evening. That was a song called Hands. That's the name of the song, by the way. It was written by a gentleman named Dan Payton and arranged and produced by Charlie Lynn, two very good and old friends of mine. Yeah, I'm just trying to sit with this energy right now because it's a lot, and I've never spoken about this publicly before. There's been a lot of stigma around this, and especially as an artist, and how it would make me look, which we'll get to later. But I felt like it was time. I felt like it was time to break my silence. It was time to complete my healing. And it was time to fully step into the artist that I want to be. And offer the support there for those who share my story. Before I go any further into detail, I just want to say hello and I love you to all of my family and my friends that are watching. A lot of you were very shocked yesterday when I posted that I was going to be doing this live and what the concept or what the topic of this talk was going to be. I got some heat for it, a lot of fear, a lot of concern, and I just want to let you know that I love you and that I am okay. And thank you for your concern and for your love. And I also want to speak to my immediate family and to everybody else to know where I'm coming from before we talk about this journey. I come from an extremely loving family. My parents have been married for almost 52 years. Like any family, we have our quirks and things that we work through. But all in all, I could not have been blessed with better parents, with better siblings, with a more loving, large, warm family. So this is not in any way a reflection of how I grew up in terms of my family and their influence on me as a child. And this is not an influence of bad parenting or abuse in the home. So I just want to get that out there first of all. Last disclaimer is I'm not going to go into great detail about my experience because this is not, for me, it's not about exposing somebody. It's not about being a victim here. It's not about glorifying where I'm at now because of all these bad things or because of all these traumatic things. If for some reason you want to know more because, and only because, this is my boundary here, you are going through something and you need a little help, you want some type of extra support, I'm absolutely willing to share my story in more detail. But for the sake of my vibration, for what I'm putting out into the world, we're going to keep this as light as possible with a heavy topic. So without further ado, this is about a relationship that I was in when I was about 20 and a half, almost 21. I was in it for about 2.5 years. And so that was, I'll be 29 this month, so started about 8 years ago. I was in a relationship with an individual who was troubled in many ways, and at first saw red flags but ignored it because of my desperation to be accepted and loved and have human connection like that. I'm going to fast forward through a lot and just get to the point of it, which is about a year in, we were engaged, and a different side of this individual came out, a very controlling side. I soon realized that he was heavily abusing drugs, heavily abusing alcohol, heavily abusing anything he could, including me. And I thought that when I found out about his drug addiction, that I could help him. And that was not the case at all. The more I helped him, the more he hurt me. And There might be a lot of pauses because I'm shaking right now. This relationship, from the outside, looked awesome, looked super solid. But those very few knew about what I was dealing with, and to the extent. I actually don't think anybody knew what I was going through in detail until after. And it was my sister Michelle, if you're watching, I love you, you saved my life, was visiting one weekend from Alameda. We were living in Santa Monica at the time, and she stayed over, and she saw his rage, and she saw how verbally violent and abusive he was being towards me in front of her. And she freaked the fuck out and flipped the lights on, told me to pack a bag, we got in her car and we left. And she was the first person in my family that I confided in after being with this person for 2 years. And hadn't she been there, I don't know if I would be here. This individual was so checked out from all of the shit he was involved with, he almost killed me. Okay. I didn't tell anybody about this because, as many women who go through this feel, there's this huge onset of shame. The shame keeps you in silence about what you're dealing with, and the shame keeps you in the relationship. I am talking about this today because I don't have any more shame about what I went through. It's difficult to talk about, but I don't have any more shame anymore. I don't blame myself anymore, and I also don't blame him or fear him anymore. And I wanted this to be a conversation to complete my own healing, and so that anybody out there that is currently struggling with this can take someone like me, who shows up every day to her life to serve others, who is a happy person, who is a loving person, who is a strong person today. And they can say, if she can do it, I can do it. If I'm speaking to you, if I'm speaking to someone who knows somebody going through this, please tag them at the end of this when this posts. This is for them. Okay. So after this relationship ended, this individual continued to reach out for the next 4.5 years, relentlessly, through email. I changed my numbers. I moved several times, switched cars, because of the fear of being found by him and hurt again. But all the while, I leaned into my music, because what music is for me, and what singing and songwriting is for me, what it has always been for me, even when I was little and going through my own troubles socially, it was my salvation. It was my safe place. It was where I could express. It was an outlet to release any hurt or misunderstanding that I was going through. And yeah, I created some really powerful, beautiful music during this time, and it healed me so much. And one song in particular, it's what the opening verse that I sang, which I'll sing at the end, has always stuck with me, always stayed on my heart, and to this day, anybody that I share my music with, that hears this song, it really resonates with them in an off way, because it's not commercial by any means, it's not whatever mainstream, but it's real and it's raw and it has a really powerful message. I, up until a few months ago, was advised not to share this music by management, by different people along the way, because the music that I was creating and the image like the artist image and brand that I was creating did not support this music. It was something I was told I was going to be victimized for. I was going to be it victimized me, and that I was going to be placed in this box, that I would never escape that label of the girl that was abused, the girl that was hit, this or that. And it was a big fear for a long time, really long time. And up until recently, I detached from that being my story. And that's not my story anymore. Fact is, I believe that everything that we go through is meant for us to learn from. It's meant to experience the deepest healing that we possibly can. And our stories and the things and the sequences of events that fill our lives are our built-in purpose. And leaning into that, I feel more peace, more power behind what I'm singing now, what I'm creating now, than I ever have before. I've never been so locked in to my truth and to my music, to my message, to my fans, and to the journey of getting through all of that fucked up shit to where I am today. Most of you would have never guessed this was my reality, because every day since I left that relationship, I chose to not be a victim by that, and to allow the deepest healing to come forward from it. And just recently, I'm saying a few months ago, is when I really sat down with myself and got real about all of this and was like, wow, this has been here all along and I've been resisting it. I've been detaching from it because of this fear of being seen as blank. Well, not anymore, clearly. So whether you have a similar story of abuse, or you have a different story altogether that was painful and traumatic for you, I encourage you with my whole heart to lean into whatever is there for you to take from it and gift it back to the world. Allow your purpose and allow the meaning of your life to flourish by accepting and embracing who you are and what you have been through. Now, I know I've kind of just glazed over a lot of things and said blanket statements like, I made a decision to not be a victim. Well, that took a long time, and that took a lot of work, a lot of uphill battles. I would go up the hill and I'd slide back down, go up the hill, slide back down. It's an everyday commitment. You recommit to it every day. I still recommit to it every day. And why you recommit to it every day is because whatever got you into that situation in the first place, whatever situations or environment prepped you for that, is usually springs from our childhood. And that shit is deep, right? That stuff we've been exposed to the longest. So it takes the longest to override and redefine and rewire our brains to have a different default. For me, I know exactly why I allowed myself to be in this relationship, to be abused for an entire year after it started. I was bullied heavily when I was younger. From the time I entered kindergarten to high school. I could not keep friends. I was made fun of a lot. And a lot of people don't know this, but I dropped out of high school my junior year because I was just done. I was done feeling bad. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to sing. I've always known that. And I left. Took my GED, enrolled in college, in community college the next semester, and started my life. I'm not encouraging anyone to drop out of high school if you're, still in high school watching this. That was just my truth, right? But all those years of conditioning to and exposure to that type of language and treatment created this cocktail where I was so desperate for connection and love and acceptance that wasn't from my family. And I took a lot of under the radar verbal, mental abuse from that partner at the beginning, not really registering that that's what it was because it was familiar. And it wasn't until it got really real and it turned into a physical thing that I was like, oh shit, how did I get here? At that point, my self-worth was nothing. It was nothing outside of what he thought of me. And I mean, it was crazy. It was a crazy time. Clearly, that's not where I'm at today. And I can talk about it. But these are these are the stages. This is what it happens. This is how it happens. So you take someone like me who seems like this happy-go-lucky, bubbly singer chick, and you're like, how the fuck did this girl get abused? It allowed that shit. How did she do that? That's how. Because it starts way before that ever happened. Two things that as an artist I will advocate for to my death, and that is anti-bullying and teaching love, self-love, and love to others in school. Having our teachers instill that in the classroom, not tolerating bullying, as well as anything having to do with domestic violence. Cam, I love you. Thank you. You guys have been writing so many comments, and I'm sorry I haven't even glanced down at all at these, but I have seen the outpouring of love and support and encouragement. Thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed. Okay, so my friend Jerry, if you're still on here, Jer Bear, sent me something today, sent me a really loving message, and he sent me a quote that just, hit me right there. And I want to share it because it is perfect. It's perfect for this. It's perfect for me. It's perfect for you. It's a quote by Elizabeth Gilbert. And it says, "The women whom I love and admire for their strength and grace did not get that way because shit worked out. They got that way because shit went wrong. And they handled it. They handled it 1,000 different ways on 1,000 different days. But they handled it. Those women are my superheroes." It's a pretty badass quote, and it's 100% truth. Before I leave you guys, I'm going to sing Hands. And this song will be on the album that we put out this year. We, as in whoever this team I'm building will end up being in its entirety. I already have a version of this that's been done, but we'll probably remix it and maybe add a few tweaks to it. Let me share a picture with you guys. This is Baby Mo. This was during that time in my life, and that is my mentor, Dan. I love you so much, Dan, if you're watching. And that's at his studio, Rock City, and this is where we wrote Hands. Okay. I used to think your hands were so beautiful. I would do anything you asked. Oh, how I loved you so. The words you wrote and art you drew, all disguised what was hiding in you. Oh, pity this fool, pity this clown. You broke me open, yes, you broke me down. You burnt me, you bruised me, you pushed me around, and in that love I drowned. I used to think your hands were so beautiful. I would do anything you asked. Oh, how I didn't know. The hands that fit and love so deep would one day soon just turn on me. Oh, pity this fool, pity this clown. You broke me open, yes, you broke me down. You burnt me, you bruised me, you pushed me around, and in that love I drowned. Well, I guess the joke was on me. Oh, but now I see clearly. You fooled me once, you fooled me twice, and then now I see through your lies. And I used to think your hands were so beautiful. You pushed me around, and in that love I drowned. I love you guys. Thank you all for holding space for me to complete this healing. Thank you for not judging me. Thank you for encouraging me. Thank you for understanding me. If you know somebody that needs to hear this message, please send it to them in a message, tag them, share it on your page. This is for them. Mostly this is for them. I love you, Beth. Thank you. And thank you for worrying about me. All right, you guys. Have a great night. All my love.